Access 2007 supports 10 types of data, each with a specific purpose. What I'd like you to do is click on the data type next to last name, and you'll see a drop-down arrow. Click that arrow to show all the various data types that you can select. And let's go through each of them. Text stores alphanumeric data, but this has a limit of 255 characters. So if you need to store some text data that is longer than 255, you should not use the text option. The memo data type also stores alphanumeric data, such as sentences and paragraphs, but it has a much larger field restriction. So if you need to save a lot of text, go with the memo data type. The third one down is number, and that's just how it sounds. This stores numeric data. Typically for a number field, if you're going to perform mathematical calculations with the data in this field, this is the data type you're probably going to want to choose. The fourth one down is date time, and just as it sounds, this stores dates. The fifth one down is currency. In the currency data type, you can store dollar figures, so this would be a good example for our pay rate field. The next one down is auto number. An auto number is a unique value generated by Access for each new record. When you create a new record, Access will either increment or assign a random number to this field. Yes/no is a Boolean true-false data type. Access stores the numeric value of 0 for false and -1 for true. OLE object stores pictures, graphs, or other ActiveX objects from within Windows-based applications. The hyperlink data type is a link address to a document or a file on the World Wide Web or an intranet or a local area network. You can also store a hyperlink to your local computer. The attachment data type is a brand new data type within Access 2007. You can attach files such as pictures and documents, charts, even spreadsheets. Each attachment field can contain an unlimited number of attachments per record, so you're not limited to only a few attachments. The only boundary you have is the storage limit of the size of your particular database file. The last option is called Lookup Wizard, and in the Lookup Wizard, there is a new data type for Access 2007 called Multi-Value Field Lookups. We'll discuss multi-value field lookups later in this lesson. What I'd like you to do now is select a data type for each of these fields. The last name, text, would be the first and best choice for this. I doubt that we're going to find a person's last name that has a field size above 255. So text sounds like a good option. So click that, and we're going to leave it on text. First name, text also is probably a good data type choice. For the birth date field, click the arrow, and let's select date time. And watch what happens when I click this. Down here at the bottom, the options on the General tab of the Field Properties area changed. If you missed that, let me click back on Text and see how there's different options. For text, you'll see field size. If I click on date time, notice that there's no field size one, but there's options for format and input mask and caption. For pay rate, currency sounds like a good choice because we're going to actually store pay rates in here. And notice, even with this option, the field property shows different options. For the active, I'm going to use a Boolean. This active field will designate whether this particular employee is active or not. And since we're going to store 0 for false and -1 for true, this looks like a good option for yes, no. For the notes field, in my database design worksheet, I decided that the notes field would be a good candidate for the memo data type. In here, I could list any particular comments that I'd like to make about this particular employee. They show up on time, they're good with the guests, so I'm going to select memo. The employee picture is a good candidate for the new attachment data type because you can attach a picture to that particular employee's record. So click on here and select attachment. And look what happened to the General tab. There's only two options now, caption and required. The job code, I'm going to select number. Now you might be asking why I'm going to select number. When we define relationships between this table and the other tables in our database, I'll show you how we're going to relate this job code field to the job codes table. So for now, all you need to realize is that number is a good choice for the data type.